Hello, and welcome to Morgantown, home of the West Virginia Mountaineers. I'm Jeff Bradford, Residency Program Director. With the football stadium in the background, I'm not sure we'll see a lot of action over there this fall, but I can guarantee you that over here across the parking lot with the hospital in the background, we do have a lot going on in the Department of Ophthalmology, and my residents and I look forward to taking an opportunity here over the next several minutes to talk to you about our program here at WVU. Hope you take an interest in it, and we certainly would look forward to having you train here, and look forward to an opportunity to get to know you and get to meet you in the coming months. So come on inside and we'll tell you more. Ah, good, you made it inside. So along with our chief resident, Dr. Jason Wynn, I'd again like to welcome you from the confines of my office here to our program here at WVU. I've been the program director for about 20 years. This season is no different from others in that I enjoy showing all the things we have to offer here at WVU to bright students such as yourself who are interested in the great career of ophthalmology. I think all of our faculty, our staff, our residents, our fellows, our patients have a lot to offer you. We are the only tertiary care medical center in the state of West Virginia. Our catchment area is about 3 million people, most of whom live in the rural parts of Appalachia. We all work here under one roof at WVU, at the WVU Eye Institute. All of our faculty encompass the specialty areas throughout ophthalmology, including ocular pathology, oculoplastics, cornea, retina, glaucoma, pediatrics, several cataract faculty in comprehensive ophthalmology, and in neuro-ophthalmology. 100% of our 18 clinical faculty are teaching faculty. We all welcome residents and medical students into our clinics and into our ORs. Each and every one of us enjoys teaching. We love having students and residents around. You all, as trainees, invigorate our days and make our academic practices fun to be in. Not only do we have all of the state-of-the-art equipment for ophthalmology here at the WVU Eye Institute, we also have a very supportive and active clinic at the VA hospital in Clarksburg, West Virginia, which is about 45 minutes south of here. Our residents and faculty will carpool down to the VA clinic every morning, and there's a lot of socializing that goes on in the car to and from, a lot of teaching and a lot of camaraderie there. We serve one emergency room here at WVU on our main medical campus. We don't take call down at the VA. It's a busy call. There's a lot going on in the emergency room. Some nights may actually be fairly quiet, but other nights may be full and bustling. Our residents take call from home. Most of our residents live within just a few minutes of the hospital here. Historically, we've had a very strong and popular transitional year program here at WVU. With changes in ophthalmology residency training, it is now being required to pursue your PGY1 year at the same institution you are doing your ophthalmology residency. In our case here at WVU, we have transitioned to a joint internship program with Dr. Mary Warden, who is the program director for the transitional year. Many of our residents here have done the TY year and think very highly of it, and I certainly would encourage you with an interest in residency here to reach out to Dr. Mary Warden and her team and inquire more about the joint internship we have here. In this joint internship, our residents are doing 9 months over in the hospital on a variety of rotations, and we'll also spend 3 months in our ophthalmology department here, getting a firm foundation in ophthalmology training even before you start in July for your PGY2 year. as a joint internship with the TY program. You'll be applying to the TY program separately through the regular match in March. We'll be doing our online virtual interviews later this fall, at the end of October, beginning of November, and certainly look forward to meeting you and seeing you there. All the best for now. Take care. And here comes Jason with some more details about our program here at West Virginia University.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason Wynn, and I wanted to give this presentation on what I feel like is a pretty special place for residency. So starting out, just introducing some of our residents. We have our PGY2s here. So these residents will be your seniors by the time that you get here if you were to match here. And our PGY3 class, our current second years, or our senior class, and our current match class, they're all interns here at WVU. Introducing some of our fellows this year. Some new faculty that we've added on this prior year is actually our former fellows in glaucoma and cornea. They both did their residency training here at WVU. Our chairman is Dr. Thomas Mager. He came about 2 years ago, and he's made a lot of good changes for our department that we're starting to kind of see the benefits of now. So we have pretty good, solid direction for the future. Our pediatrics faculty, we have Dr. Jeffrey Bradford. He is also our program director. He has been the program director for what has been, I think, over 20 years now. We have Ryan McGuire, who we actually added last year. He did his residency at Drexel, and he did a one-year pediatrics fellowship in Philadelphia at CHOP. And we have Dr. Allison Hicksonbaugh, who also does peds optometry, and she is also the one who gives us our optics lectures. For our comprehensive faculty, so we have Dr. Charlie Moore. So he's a WVU grad as well. He's been here for quite some time. Dr. Brittany Newman, we have added this prior year. She also is doing general optometry and also some of the contact lens fittings that we learn from as well. For our cornea faculty, as I mentioned, Dr. Thomas Mager, and we also have Dr. Lee Wiley and Dr. Lingo Lai, as well as our new faculty, Dr. Amir Eskandari. I think all these people have been fantastic to learn from. Neuro-ophthalmology, we have Dr. Brian Ellis. He's been here for quite some time too. He's been an invaluable addition to our neuro-ophthalmology education. He's the only neuro-ophthalmologist in not only the state, but many times the region. For our retina faculty, so we have 2 medical retina faculty and 2 surgical retina faculty currently. For our glaucoma faculty, we have Dr. Brian McMillan, Dr. Joel Palco. We also have Dr. Tony Riolini, Dr. Judy Charlton. Our oculoplastics faculty, so we have Dr. John Wynn and Dr. Bradley Thoreau, who actually also did a one-year ocular pathology fellowship. Dr. John Lindberg, he works with us primarily at the VA. So introducing our program managers is Danielle Schneider and Jacqueline Weiss. Also, we'd like to talk about our research faculty as well. We have 5 full-time research faculty here, and they are all NIH funded. They all have a R01 grant, and they have been very willing in accepting residents for research projects if anybody's interested in that. So it's been a nice asset to the research aspect of residency as well. So kind of in summary, going through and talking about what I just kind of covered, we have faculty in all the different subspecialties of ophthalmology. I think when you guys go on the interview trail, that's something that's very important to look at, is not only are all of the subspecialties covered, especially our uveitis or neuro-ophthalmology, or even somebody that will be able to kind of educate you on ocular pathology, because those are very underrepresented specialties in general. That is very crucial, especially for not only your boards training, but also just to your general ophthalmological training. So generally, how does a typical day go for us, our typical work week? So generally, we start at 7 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, and Friday, we have designated didactics given by our faculty, which has been excellent. Monday morning report, we basically get together with a few of the faculty, with all the residents, and the on-call team kind of talks about interesting cases that they had over the weekend. If they needed to bounce some ideas off of us, that's been a great, basically, tableside discussion. For Wednesday, that every Wednesday we have grand rounds for an hour, usually from our own residents. Sometimes we're visiting lecturers. And Thursday in general is just protected time depending on what rotation you're on, but you generally have that morning free to catch up on any administrative stuff or if you need some extra time to study. And clinics here start at 8 a.m. whether you go to clinic, the OR, or consults. And the VA team, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, they might leave a little bit earlier than this to make the time for the clinic. So our general rotation schedule, as a first year, you go through cornea, plastics, you go through neuro twice, and you do the VA twice, as well as one rotation on peds and one rotation on consults in the second half of your year. On second year, you do the VA twice. You also do one more rotation with peds and one more rotation with consults, as well as a rotation on the retina service and a rotation on the plastic service. As a third year, you also do VA twice. That's where you'll get the bulk of your cataract surgical numbers. You will have one rotation with retina and two rotations with the comprehensive service and Dr. Moore, where you will see what a comprehensive clinic might end up looking like, and you get to build more surgical numbers there. And you also get one additional rotation in cornea, as well as two with a surgical glaucoma service. So general things that I wanted to cover, just so that if you all had any additional questions during the actual interview process, hopefully this kind of covers it. But our general salary, especially for the cost of living in the area, I think is quite favorable. The cost of living here is very, very affordable, and we get pretty well compensated in terms of our salary, I feel like. In general, call. So we have transitioned now that we have 4 residents. We are on a Q4 system, and for the first 2 months of your residency, you will be on buddy call with your senior. In our education fund, our book money, generally we have it dedicated to certain things. So as a first year, you get your BCSC series completely paid for, and you also can get it digitally. And for your second year, you get to go to a review course that is completely paid for, all expenses, including obviously the registration, but also the lodging. And as a third year, you get to go to the academy meeting. In 2021, it'll be in Chicago. And for all 3 years, you get optho questions paid for. So that is very crucial, as you all will find out, to studying for OCAPs and boards. And upon starting, you get your own set of lenses that you will borrow throughout residency. And in addition to the academy meeting that I talked about previously, so you are supported by the department if you have anything accepted for presentation at conference. So another unique thing here, being in West Virginia, one of the Alcon factories is nearby in Huntington. So they usually, once every couple years, they kind of have us down there, and we get to kind of see how intraocular lenses are made and the whole process. And it's kind of just nice to be able to see a little bit of the industry. So other perks, as I mentioned, you borrow your lenses during residency. One thing that I think is very nice that we sometimes forget how nice we have it is we actually get meal cards. We get $500 in meal money every 6 months. And when you're at the VA rotation, you get $200 a month as well. And for our VA rotation, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, there is some travel associated with it, but it's nice because we are reimbursed quite handsomely, I would have to admit, for the amount of gas money that we do have to spend traveling there. We also have a weekly resident clinic where we can kind of maintain some continuity with the patients that we see. And as you can see here, we get our own personalized embroidered scrubs. Paid time off, I think this is pretty standard across most programs, but generally 15 days per year and holidays. And in your third year, you get an additional week essentially to help mitigate some of the time off for interviews. So the VA rotation, but the VA is 45 minutes south of us in Clarksburg, and the VA is extremely important. Every weekday there is a different subspecialty clinic, and then Thursday is just a general cataract day, in which we usually do about 8 per day, and we divide it up mainly for the senior and then with a couple cases for the second year as well. So next we have the practice lab. So we have a IC. I think that all of us, especially when I talked about that surgical experience, this tool is invaluable. Going through some of the numbers in general, I think that cataracts wise, we are probably about national average. Every other subspecialty, we are probably within the top 10 percentile, especially in our plastics procedures and our pediatrics procedures. So you can see that for about the past 20 or so years that our residents have come from all over, really, many different medical schools, many different states. We are very close to 50-50, if not a little bit more, leaning towards comprehensive. And I think that just speaks to the quality of the clinical and surgical training that we get here, that our residents do feel that when they finish, that they are ready to go out on their own. So I think a very undersold part of our residency that is extremely important is we have a lot of help from our ancillary staff. We have great surgery schedulers and amazing technicians. For our didactics, as I mentioned, given by our faculty, fantastic, both hands-on and in the auditorium, very lecture style like. One unique thing that has been added on recently is the international experience. So Dr. Mager, our chair, he has been going to Ghana for, I'm not sure how many years, but it's been quite a while. He last year took our cornea fellow, Dr. Amir Iskandari, and our chief resident, Dr. Joya, to Ghana for a week, and during that week they were able to kind of help set up these outpatient ophthalmology clinics, perform surgery. This is a little bit more about our wet lab and simulators you can see here. So sometimes we have industry come in and give some wet labs on some of their newer technology. Our laser suite, as I mentioned with Dr. Wiley, we can do a lot of the refractive procedures. We also have recently established corneal cross-linking with Dr. Mager. So national conferences, these are some of our prior residents here, it looks like at the Academy meeting. And generally, what do we do for fun? So as some of you may or may not know, West Virginia is beautiful. There's a ton of nature out here. So every year, typically, we go out to Cheat Lake. It's probably about 20 minutes here from the campus. And we have a day where all the residents are free from call. One of the fellows usually is nice enough to cover for us for about 5 to 6 hours. And we go out on the lake and we just have a really good time. Whitewater is something that I love to do. So we have world-class whitewater rafting here in southern West Virginia. And that's the New River Gorge. There's a unique aspect of the New River Gorge. Every year they have this event called Bridge Day where they have tens of thousands of people go out to this large bridge and they block it off completely, and they have this large festival here, and this is part of it where they have professional people doing kind of this base diving or base jumping, and tons of access to beautiful nature, hiking. And this is Cooper's Rock, as I mentioned. There's a special time during the part of the year, probably about October-ish, where the leaves change here, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So 4 seasons, we have all 4 seasons here. The spring is very nice. The winters can get a little cold. For the past few years, it's been pretty mild, so it's not terrible. And as you can see, fall is beautiful. And some pictures of us just at work here, and a little bit of fun outside of work. So we all do hang out quite a bit. And a big aspect of obviously being here on campus and being a college town is the college sports, in particular college football. This is, you can see in the bottom left here, that's the hospital. The Eye Institute would be off to the left there. And what happens on game days is actually the stadium, which is immediately adjacent to the hospital, they actually own that parking lot. So they block off that complete parking lot, and that's where a lot of the tailgating activities and pregame activities happen. We have here, as I showed you, kind of the WVU main hospital. Like I told you, it's very nice when we have call, everything is in one very large centralized building, so we don't hopping around to many different sites trying to provide care. The Neurosciences Institute, which is directly behind this building, was added on in 2017. Coming soon, they're expanding the outpatient clinics adjacent to the hospital, basically giving more space. The Eye Institute itself is also likely expanding to an additional floor to give more clinic space to all our providers. And the WVU Children's Hospital is being built adjacent to the main hospital, and this will be a separate children's hospital that won't change very much of our care, but also will give a ton of new space basically for the pediatrics floors and for our pediatric ophthalmology faculty. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a good time on the interview trail and that you come check us out. Thanks.
All right, so I hope all that information that Jason provided is helpful for you. I wish you the best of luck in all of your interviews. I'm going to put my rally cap on for you and hope that you get the program of your first choice. I hope that perhaps it might be our WVU Eye Institute out there in the background behind me. And I'll pan a little bit and show you the rest of the hospital, the Children's Hospital under construction out there behind me. And I started this video with the football stadium. We'll end it with the football stadium. Go Mountaineers. Best of luck to you. All the very best. Take care.